Where, oh, where will you go when you die? Will you be rejoicing, or will you be down there like a fry, frying in a lake of fire? Where, oh, where is your heart's desire? Tell me, where will you go when you die?
Where, oh, where will you go when you die? It really doesn't matter. All you can do now is live your life and try not to be an asshole. A wonderful game that some New Agers adore playing is the What If game. Now, some of the common what ifs in the New Age circles that I've been in usually ask questions like this. What if God is just a state of mind? What if reality is just a dream or a movie? What if aliens are responsible for all life on Earth and they seeded their DNA everywhere? What if we can create things with just our thoughts? I could be rich. What if the government is controlling our minds with chemtrails? Trademark. What if pigs could fly out of my butt? That would be some nasty bacon. Now granted, pigs often do rut in their shit, but I digress. The last one was kind of a joke, but it highlights the absurdity of such claims in a way that I consider much needed. If the claim is anything is possible, then it follows that pigs could fly out of my butt. There's just no way around it. Sure, imagination is a wonderful aspect of human cognition and innovation. It's a gift of higher order thinking that can drive into the abstract and pluck a creative idea, and sometimes turn it into a reality. But some things are beyond the scope of what is real. Now, I often go back to this "is it useful" question, and I think this is a very important question, since our time here on Earth to study these issues is finite. Are any of these what-ifs useful? Are they worthy of even thinking about? Is it productive to do so? It truly depends on the topic, but I have found very few of those asked by New Agers have any profound impact on my life, other than having wasted a good chunk of it. Now, since I have now abandoned such far-fetched stretches of imagination, I can conclude I no longer waste time on such things, other than maybe making this video to point out the absurdity of them. I don't consider doing so to be very enlightening at all, but only a way to temporarily distract from whatever it is in reality that I don't find tolerable. Often they'll also say that to define things puts a limit on them. Don't put your creativity in a box. Color outside the lines. You're just afraid. These kinds of things. You get my point. So I ran across this video of Tracy Harris explaining, is the supernatural possible? And are you justified to believe that anything is possible?
Based on what you know about this die, is it possible to roll a 3?
Yes.
How do you know that?
Well, because we know that there are 6 numbers on the side and that any of them could possibly come up. And I've rolled a 3 before with similar objects and seen them rolled.
Okay. And if we had, well, is it possible to roll a 5?
It would seem so, yes.
Probably for the same reasons.
Yep.
And we could probably roll a 7 too.
No.
We couldn't?
Not on one die.
I don't understand.
Well, there's only the numbers 1 through 6, so you couldn't possibly get a 7.
Oh, you know what I forgot to tell you?
Oh.
We have infinite rolls.
Oh, okay. So then you would roll and then roll again and add it together.
No. I mean, each time I roll, that would be 1 roll, and that would only count once. But there's infinite rolls, so now can I roll a 7?
No.
Why?
Because each individual roll has the same possibilities as the first.
But not a 7.
Not a 7.
It really made me think when she presented it in this way, so I decided, well, maybe I'll post this into a New Age group. So I did. Here are the responses I got. Not one thing is impossible. So, of course, first thing I thought was, well, some things are. I will never have a pig fly out of my butt. The reply I got was stunning. Maybe not you. But pigs do fly. I have seen it. You ever seen pigs fly? This person has. Now, this other person was a little bit more... They had a little bit more clarity in their thoughts, I suppose, but at the same time, there was no depth to what was said. It just sounded like it was deep. For instance, all things are finite, as they are clearly identified by what they are not. All things have a boundary or limit. All things are contained by what they are not. All things can be measured by empirical or conceptual means. The container of all things is beyond measurement, as there is not a correlate. But wait, the container isn't all things? All things are contained by an infinite set. But all things are finite. But how could the sets be infinite? All infinite set is beyond all limits, boundaries, and measurement. But why? Wouldn't that be special pleading? There can only be one infinity, else it is limited by what it is. But it's infinity. That doesn't make sense. That just doesn't follow to me. All things contained by the infinite are caused by the infinite. All things contained in the infinite are in motion through cause and effect. There is an infinite amount of energy propelling all things. Oh, infinite amount of energy? Now, I doubt that that's true. All possible worlds are true. How do you know this? Can you demonstrate this? All worlds are in a state of awareness in a field of consciousness. Ugh, this consciousness shit. Now, I've already gone over this in one of my videos, but consciousness, this is just like your opinion, man. You have no way to demonstrate this. How do you know that everything is a field of consciousness? And what the fuck is a field of consciousness? Anyways, so I'm not sure if the purple person was joking or not, since people will go to great absurdities in order to rationalize holding their belief that anything is possible. Poe's law. There's no way to really tell, since, first of all, I didn't interact with them all that much. And then it follows that not only pigs can fly, from what they said that not one thing is impossible. So they should be able to fly straight out of my asshole, apparently. So either they actually believe this, or they see the flaw in their logic and they're making light of it. I don't know. Could be. As for the orange, well, like I said, that's just plain absurd as well. If things are defined by what they are not, then we live in a bizarre world where nothing can be defined at all. It is not really something we can know, and so therefore we can't really define them, at least not any way clearly. And if all things have a boundary or limit, then they would be by definition finite. The container of all things would naturally be a part of all things itself, and subject to this empirical examination. It seems like this comment is contrary, circular reasoning to me. And it also has a case of special pleading, since all things are finite, but there are infinite things, since there's energy in all possible worlds. Then that would make energy in all possible worlds an exception to the rule. Now, if all things are possible, then impossibility is also possible. Making general statements like this, especially lists of ideas that are obviously contrary to one another, is not a rational way to form a conclusion, and offers no possible aid in dealing with reality, especially if you think that reality is nothing but a dream or a movie or whatever. You have to act as though this life is real, otherwise you're going to have severe consequences. You are responsible for your life. You need to be aware of it. You need to be active in it, and you need to be mindful. That is just self-care basics, dude. In fact, the cognitive dissonance holding these positions that this person creates here, it's more stress on the psyche, and recovering from this is quite arduous. I should know, for I've had to reevaluate this worldview myself, and it was not an easy journey. Thinking well is of vital importance to both one's personal well-being and relationships. Make sure that you do not fall into these styles of thought. So it goes. Y'all have a good day.